For the next part, we're gonna do a little backside work on a little hammy work. We're gonna do 3 exercises, and we're gonna do a little bit of a core exercise. That'll be all for part A. Do 3 to 4 rounds, and then you'll have part B afterwards, which will be a little upper body. So part A, we're gonna go a lot of single, all of them are gonna be single leg work. So first one, we're gonna use chair. If you don't have a chair to use, you could just go back on the ground as well. Again, if you're using a backpack lately, dog food bag, bird food bag, whatever, you're gonna use that for this. We're gonna go single leg glute bridge. So remember, shoulders, having less of your shoulders on the chairs gonna make it a little bit harder, a little bit easier, scooting more of my shoulders on there, making it a little bit more stable. We're gonna go single leg. So remember, one foot's just gonna be on the ground, the other leg's gonna be nice and straight. I'm letting my hips drop, lifting up, good squeeze at the top. And then we're gonna go 5 seconds on the way down. So good control, get down. Remember, I don't need to go all the way down to the ground. Lift up, squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5, lift up. So I'm just gonna go 5 each leg. 5 on one side, again, 5 seconds on the way down each time, good squeeze at the top. 5 on one leg, switch, 5 on the other. Once you're done with both sides for that, again, you're grabbing a bag of dog food, whatever you're using. We're gonna go single leg RDLs. So however you need to hold on to it, remember on the RDLs, that leg that's going back is gonna lead. My leg's nice and straight. Should be in a nice straight line with my upper body. Chest and eyes are forward or looking down at the ground. I'm getting down until I feel a good stretch in the back of my leg. Back to the top. So again, for this, we're gonna go 5 seconds on the way down. Hit that bottom. Back to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna do all 10 on one side, switch, all 10 on the other. Same thing, nothing changes. Remember that knee's trying to stay over top of my ankle. I'm not trying to lean forward, I'm not trying to lean back. But all 10 on one leg, switch, 10 on the other. Again, adding a little bit of tempo on the way down. But once we're done with that, we're gonna go slide out. So, could just go body weight for this. We're gonna go one leg at a time. But I am gonna go just back on the ground. I'm gonna work on driving my leg, keeping one leg straight and letting the other leg kind of roll out. So yeah, I'm gonna go one leg at a time. So I'm driving my hips up, letting that leg go out on my heel, trying to go about 5 seconds on the way out, touch my butt to the ground, reset. Hips up nice and tall on that single heel, driving my elbows into the ground, trying to go about 5 seconds on the way out, tap, reset. So again, I'm going to do all on one leg, switch, do all of them on the other. We're trying to go about 10 each leg, hopefully, and trying to go 3 to 5 seconds on the way out with my heel each time. Once you're done, both sides for that, then we're going to do some primitive pop-ups. So we're going to do 20 of them, but it's just starting primitive position, jumping up to balls of my feet, and back down. So the landing part is actually what makes it tough on my midline, trying to land, knees just off the ground, and trying to keep a nice stable position at the bottom. But I'm going to do 20 of them. So again, popping up, balls of my feet, dropping back down, catching myself, nice stable landing. Again, I'm going to do 20. Rinse and repeat for, again, 3 to 4 rounds of that for part A, and then I'll go over part B. So, upper body, we're going to use bed sheet in the door, just like we went over last week. Remember, you're putting a towel in the back of it, about halfway through the sheet, throwing it over top of the door, making sure that it's flat enough on top that you can close it, but it stays nice and tight, because we are going to do some body weight stuff on the sheet. So first thing we're going to do, We're going to do pull-ups, then we're going to go just with some rows, and then we're going to go face pulls. So trying to add a little bit of tempo for all 3 of them. Pull-ups we're going to do 5. Again, trying to add a little bit of tempo on the way down. Then we got 10 rows. Again, trying to add a little bit of tempo on the way down. And then 10 face pulls. And then we're going to go bird dog planks for our midline. But remember, if you need to, you could wrap hands around a little bit, give you a little bit more secure on there. But it is going to be, if you need to use your legs, you could use your legs. But pulling up. And then again, trying to go about 5 seconds on the way down. But working on a little grip strength as well. Again, it does help wrapping around a little bit. Try to keep it nice and tight. But for those of you guys who are strong enough, you could go feet up off the ground. Again, pulling up. Trying to go 5 seconds on the way down. If you need to, you could reset each time. Do 1 rep. Reset your hands on here. I know grabbing onto these it's not the easiest. But again, 5 reps, 5 seconds on the way down. Once you're done with that, we're just going to go rows. So trying to have good backwards lean. Pinch the shoulder blades together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we're going to go 10 reps. Really trying to keep my hips in a nice straight line with my body. Pinch the shoulder blades together at the top. So again, 10 reps, just a bit of row. And then we're going to go face pulls. So remember, hands grab up over the top. Palms face the ground. Same thing, I'm going to have a little backwards lean. Keeping my elbows nice and high. And then I'm going to go, again, 5 seconds on the way down. But same thing, hips stay in a nice straight line. Little backwards lean. Face pulls might be a little bit harder, so you might cheat up a little bit more on the sheet, make it a little bit easier. But again, once you're done with that, you're gonna go through a little midline, and we're going bird dog planks. So remember, yes, they're a little bit harder than just normal bird dogs. Normal bird dogs would be a substitute if the bird dog planks are a little bit too tough, but it is starting out trying to get to this position with that knee that's normally on the ground. You're just going to lift it up off the ground a little bit, extend, back down. You could reset each time, take a little break, again up off, extend, back down, and reset. So I'm going to do 5 on one, 5 with one pair, switch 5 with the other pair. Again, this is part B. I'm going to do 3 to 4 rounds of part B. Again, next will be a little midline work and then a little shoulder work to end it. So midline work, we're going to go 2 to 3 rounds. We're going to go, first is going to be a plank. You could go push-up plank. So hands a little bit closer, feet a little bit wider. Or you go down on the forearms. We're really trying to keep body in a nice straight line. My belly button stays pulled up. But I'm going to go 60 seconds just with a plank down the middle. And then we're going to go side planks. So side planks, again, you could go a little bit easier. You'd be straight arm, a little bit harder, forearm. We're really trying to keep hips up, not let them sag down. Again, I'm going to go 60 seconds, one side, switch, 60 seconds on the other side. Once you're done with the planks, we're going to go oblique ups. So, whichever side you want to start on. Remember, it's not laying completely on your side. You're going to rock back a little bit. Face the belly button kind of at like a 45 up towards the ceiling. And then it's using this arm a little bit, driving it into the ground. Lifting up, upper body, lifting up with the legs. Squeezing as hard as you can. Right on the side of your stomach, where your obliques are. But lift up. Slight pause at the top, back down. So I'm going to do 10 on one side, switch, 10 facing the other way. Once you're done with that, we're going to go flutter kicks. So you could make them a little bit harder. You could go hollow style, hands up above the head, pull that belly button down, flutters, or A little bit easier would be hands underneath butt. It's going to be 20 each leg, 40 total. However you want to count it. If you want to do all, count one leg once you get to 20. You want to count to 40. But 20 each leg, and then we're going to go 20 leg lifts. So again, you could make it a little bit harder. Hands up above the head. Or you could go hands underneath. But 20 leg lifts. Once you're done with the 20 flutters each side. Again, 2 to 3 rounds. Should be pretty short and quick, but good amount of midline work. So yeah, next we'll go over 2 rounds of a little shoulder work, and then that'll be it. So for the shoulder work, you could just go body weight. You don't have to use books or weights, but if you have 2 books around, textbooks, normal books, whatever, that are about 2.5 to 5 pounds, work out pretty perfect instead of having, if you don't have any dumbbells or anything at home. Using this would footrest, chair, a small stool, whatever you have that would allow you to place your chest on it, get you at a pretty horizontal level, just to do a little bit of the shoulder work would help. If you do not have one and you just can go straight off the ground, you can do it off the ground as well. Just a little bit more limit to your range of motion. This would be a little bit better benefit, but again, off the ground is not the worst option either. So we're gonna go a little shoulder work. We're gonna go YTs and Vs. So again, if I have both books in my hand, lifting up, back down. Remember, I'm trying to make the best Y that I can. Ys are also going to be the hardest, so if books are a little bit too much for this, you simply go without them. Again, palms up if you don't have books, facing down, or palms facing down if you do have them. Again, it's a very short range of motion. Trying to keep both arms straight, lift up, squeeze, back down. I'm going to do 10. A little bit easier one. Next is going to be T's. So again, if you could use the books, nice straight arms, lift up, pinch shoulder blades together, back down. Again, I'm going to do 10 T's. I'm trying to get a nice straight line out from across my shoulders. Last one, easiest one, is going to be V's. Lift up, pinch shoulder blades together, back down. Again, all of them are going to be a pretty limited range of motion. But I'm going to do 10 V's. And the last one we're going to do is a Cuban press. Probably going to be the hardest one. Probably not going to end up going with books if you have heavier ones like textbooks. If you have like a simple 50, 100 page reading book at home, you could use those. But Cuban press is, we're going to have to skip the first part. Normally you start with straight arms at the bottom, but we're going to start with already 90 degrees at our elbows, pinching the shoulder blades together, really trying to keep my elbow in a straight line out from my shoulder, not pulling it back. From there, I'm going to lift up, try to make field goal, touchdown symbol, whatever you want to think about. Pressing up above my head, trying to not let my arms drop down, trying to keep them in a straight line out, back, back down. Again, you could relax at the top, simulate dropping or releasing tension from the shoulder blades like we would if we were going to do it normally. But then back to it, pinch, flip the arms up, press up above the head, down, down, relax. Again, that is all 1 rep. You're going to do 10 of them. And then again, 2 to 3 rounds, 2 for sure. If you want to do a 3rd round of the shoulder work, feel free. Again, this is going to make it a little bit more beneficial. If you have books or a little bit of weights that you could use to make it a little bit more challenging. But again, positioning is a little bit more important than using weights. So getting a good Y at the top, getting into a good T, V, and really working on pressing straight out from the top on that Cuban press, again, is a little bit more important than just what weight you're using. So 2 to 3 rounds of that, and that's it for today.